Hey generator installers, imagine flipping your advertising strategy and seeing your generator installs totally skyrocket. So I'm Mitch Horton with SwiftSocial and I do advertising for home standby generator installers all around the country. And today I'm going to show you how honest and transparent advertising can transform your generator business. So we're going to look at why traditional ads often miss the mark and how you can build trust with your audience to drive more installs. And then stick around because by the end of this presentation, you'll have a blueprint for actually creating ads that not only attract leads, but actually convert them into loyal customers too. So there's a few main problems with traditional generator ads. Number one is that they're way too flashy and gimmicky. So most generator ads out there, they're garbage. They're flashy, they're gimmicky, and they promise the moon, but they deliver dirt. I mean, you've seen these all the time. Maybe, unfortunately, you've even ran these for yourself. And what I'm talking about is the stuff where it's got like these bright, flashy, infographic, kind of traditional advertisement looking things. And then you go look at the messaging and stuff inside of them, and it's still, I mean, it's, get this $500 off this generator install, or this limited time deal, or this special, or take advantage of these rebates, even, or just stuff like that, these kind of gimmicky, flashy things. And really, what it does is it insults the intelligence. Or at least that's how they take it of the homeowners reading it that are actually, probably in your ideal demographic, probably the smart ones who have money, who actually, are interested in buying a generator, right? Hey, real quick, if you're a home standby generator installer and you want 3 to 5 plus additional generator installs per month, which is about $30,000 all the way up to $100,000 plus in new revenue every single month, I'll build you an advertising system just like the ones I show you how to build in my YouTube videos here to do that for you, and I'll run it for you totally for free for 2 weeks. And if you don't love working with me, you never pay me a penny for it. So if that sounds interesting to you, go ahead and click the link below to book a quick phone call with me in the description. That's go.swiftsocial.org, go.swiftsocial.org. Let's get back to the video now. So number two is lack of honesty. So they're missing one crucial element, honesty. So like I was saying earlier, your ideal customers are smart. They can smell a sales pitch from a mile away and they really hate it. And then number three is failure to build trust. So most advertising campaigns for generators fail because they don't build trust. So, like I was saying, the homeowners you want to work with, the ones with money, they aren't looking for the cheapest deal, but what they are looking for is quality work at a fair price from someone they trust. So, really, the biggest thing that you need to be trying to convey to people in your advertising campaigns for generators isn't that you have the best deal, or you have this flashy gimmicky, you have this summer special going on, or you're going to give them $1,000 off or whatever. It's like at the end of the day, if they don't actually trust that you're going to do quality work and you're going to do it at a fair price, and they actually trust you to work on their home, especially when it comes to a generator, which is something that's potentially going to impact the safety of their family or something like that. Maybe if they have medical devices that they need to keep up and running during a power outage, or maybe they're in a part of the country where the power goes out in the middle of the winter and it's freezing cold, and they have a family and stuff like that. It's really important that the person who installs this generator for them is actually trustworthy, and they're going to do a good job, and the generator is actually going to be reliable and run, right? So the next thing is building trust through honest advertising. So like I was saying earlier, be honest. Don't promise what you can't deliver. So if your generator install costs, 15 grand, which most of them are going to be anywhere between $10,000 to $20,000 for an install. Don't advertise it as $5,000. Honestly, I wouldn't even mention the price of the install to begin with inside your ads. I wouldn't recommend doing that at all. I never do that. And the reason for that isn't just to try to get one over on someone, or try to trick them into clicking on it, and then they go through the process and you get them on the phone and then break the bad news to them. But it's just because the place that what you're trying to do in your advertisement is you're trying to sell the phone call, you're trying to sell the consultation or the free quote with them, right? It's like actually selling the generator and them writing the check for 15 grand or whatever it is to you. I mean, that's down the line, that's the eventual goal, but right now that's way, you're putting the wagon in front of the horse right there. You can't, what you're trying to do is sell the quote or just sell the phone call even before that, and just having a consultation with them and just getting on the phone and talking to them and saying, hey, what are your needs? What are you interested in? Why do you want a generator system? What would you want to have backed up in the event of a power outage? All those kind of things. So I wouldn't even put price inside of the ads to begin with, because then you also lose the chance to actually handle that objection, either in person or on the phone, where you can actually have a two-way dialogue with the person. And there's already way more trust right there too, because if you're, you know, as much trust as we can build when it comes to advertisements online, like Facebook and Instagram, like I do, even though we build as much trust with these methods as we possibly can, at the end of the day, the most trust you're ever going to be able to build with a customer or a potential client is actually being out there at their house face to face in person, and actually, walking them through everything and addressing their concerns right there in person. Um, Number two is using long form copy. So what do I mean by that? So people aren't going to read a gigantic chunk of text in an ad that they see on Facebook or Instagram. It's hard enough to get someone's attention when everyone has such a short attention span nowadays. And asking for someone to read a huge paragraph, which is essentially what you're doing, is too expensive in terms of the apparent time investment, blah, 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 blah. That's what happens when people read an ad that looks like this, right? So, or anything online. I mean, you see a big chunk of text like this, especially when you're, look at it from their perspective. If you're doing Facebook or Instagram ads, which is, what I do, what I recommend for generator installs, it's like people are looking at, they want to go back to looking at their cat videos or their pictures that their friends posted or their Facebook reels or memes or whatever they're looking at. It's like they don't want to read this big chunk of text. So it's like you're asking for their attention whenever you have an ad, right? And it has to be worth it. It has to be a good trade off for them where their attention was actually worth giving to you in exchange for whatever they got, whatever information they got, or, signing up to get the free quote, whatever. So you never want to have big, gigantic chunks of text like this. So instead, if you break it up, it's much more digestible. So it's the same amount of words, but way easier to read in the second version below. So this is the same thing right here, but this is way easier to read. People aren't going to read a gigantic chunk of text in an ad that they see on Facebook or Instagram. It's hard enough to get someone's attention, especially when they have such a short attention span nowadays. Asking for someone to read a huge paragraph, which is essentially what you're doing, is too expensive in terms of apparent time investment. So instead of reading it, they just keep scrolling because it seems like too big of a commitment, and they'd rather go back to looking at cat videos. So it's like, with this, they could stop reading at any point. It's not a big time investment. It's not a big commitment. All they got to commit to is one sentence to find out what it's about. With this, it's like, I don't know. So always use a long form copy like this, and then break it up too. Like break it up into different sentences and different chunks so it's more digestible. And the number three is create genuine looking ads. So imagine a homeowner seeing an ad that looks like a genuine post from a neighbor, not a flashy advertisement. It talks about the benefits of the generator, maybe having backup power, the peace of mind it brings, that's a big one, and how your company installs them with meticulous care, and really your values, which is a big thing when it comes to building trust. Who are you as a person? What do you care about? What do you guys stand for? Ads that look like ads trigger banner blindness. You might have heard that term before, but basically what it means is when somebody's, on any platform, it doesn't just have to be Facebook or Instagram. Whenever you're somewhere where there's advertisements, whether it's like, a commercial on TV or listening to the radio or scrolling through Facebook and Instagram, whenever people see an ad or something that looks like an ad, most of the time what we do is subconsciously, like we don't even think about it, subconsciously it just gets blocked out of our mind and we just scroll past it, or the commercial comes on and then 30 seconds after, you ask someone, what was that commercial about, and you go, I couldn't tell you. So it's like we just have this subconscious reflex to just block out anything that looks like an advertisement, by default. So what you want to do instead is we want our ads to look like a picture that somebody's neighbor or family member might have posted of their new generator install. So, bright pictures work better than dark pictures. Of course, high quality, clear, with the generator centered in the middle or something like that. It's clear what the subject matter of the picture actually is. And then no or very minimal graphics added to it. And then pictures with you or your guys working on the generator, or with, you, the owner of the company, standing by the generator, and then the homeowner too. Something like that. Any combination of those things. So, if you got like I said, you and your guys out there working on the generator in one of the pictures, that's great. If you got you standing next to the homeowner in front of the generator, or like on either side of it, that's really good too. But as long as the generator is the main subject matter of the pictures that we're using, and don't use video ads, by the way. Video ads don't usually perform very good for generators. But as long as the generator is the main subject matter and it's clear what you're showing, and it's bright and clear and high quality, and there's no or very minimal graphics, and it doesn't look like an ad, it looks, again, like a picture that maybe someone's a neighbor or family member might have posted of their new install, then that's awesome. And then the next thing that you want when you're making an effective advertising campaign for generators. And I'm going to make a bunch more videos in the future about all these things a lot more in depth, but you want to have a landing page. So never use Facebook lead forms. So you want to always direct your traffic to a custom landing page. Landing pages give you control and they also make you seem way more professional. So you can design them to include all the necessary information like customer testimonials, a letter from the owner, FAQs, all those kind of things. But the main reason that Facebook lead forms, if you're doing Facebook and Instagram ads, is so bad is because um, they're just so easy to submit. I mean, even if you add some filters on it and you add like more steps to it, it's like just for whatever reason, I mean, people just like they basically trip over them and submit the form. I mean, you get people who are like, you get super old people sometimes who literally don't even know what they're doing and they're just like clicking through stuff. They don't even know where like the X button is to get off of it. So instead of like, trying to X out of the form, they just like click a bunch of random buttons on there just to fill it out, just to get out of it. Or you'll get, like, I don't know, drunk people in the middle of the night, like 3 in the morning or something sometimes, who will go ahead and they'll fill out the form. They don't even know what they're doing. But when you go off of Facebook, the leads are always going to be way higher quality when you send them to an actual landing page, which means like an actual website to collect their information instead of the lead form. Because first of all, it's just a big barrier to entry anyways. Just the fact that you even got them to go off of Facebook or Instagram to actually look at your stuff, right? When they get to stay on Facebook, right, and they can fill it out right there, it's a lot easier for them to do. So we actually want to add, not too much, but we want to add a pretty decent amount of friction in the process and actually make it take a little bit of time investment and actually take a little bit of effort for them to submit it to ensure that they actually are a high quality lead. And I'll make another video about that in the future because it's just so important and it makes such a big difference. Or probably a bunch of videos, to be honest with you. The next thing is the prominence survey. So assuming that you have a website or a landing page for people to go to after they click your ads, you need to make sure that the survey is the first thing they see. Like I can't stress how important this is. I see people's ads all the time. Other generator installers around the country and stuff like that, who maybe they don't know how to do their targeting settings. I don't know, but I'll see other generator installer ads, for people, people who aren't my clients who do their own ads. And I click on them out of curiosity just to see like what they're maybe doing right, but usually what they're doing wrong. And one of the biggest things that I see is it's like a maze trying to figure out how to actually submit your information to one of these companies to actually get a quote or get on the calendar with them or just have a phone call with them. It's like I see these ads and they go, okay, click this link, go to our website, right? And it's like, okay, that's great. They're not using Facebook lead forms, but then you go to the website and it's like, where do I submit the form? I have to like look all over. I have to go to the contact button. I got to scroll all the way down. There's all these things in the way. It's like the harder it is for them to actually just see the survey right in front of them and just start filling it out instantly. It like the page needs to load and they need to see maybe like a quick description or something like that of what they're doing, but then right away, boom, question one, right? And then it also needs to align with why they clicked it, which is obviously in this case either to get a phone consultation or a free quote. But they need to see the survey right away so they can start filling it out. So if the potential lead clicks on your link and they actually have to search and go through that maze to try to figure out how to contact you or get on your calendar, it's a 90% chance that they're just going to close the page and go back to looking at CAD videos. So make it easy for them. The next one is justifier questions. So adding a justification for each survey question is really important. So it shows that you respect their time and that their answers are essential for providing them with the best service. The person answering the questions needs to be made to feel like the questions they're answering are important and building the foundation for a quote for their generator install. So I'll make videos again, like I said, in the future, and I'll kind of show a little bit more what I mean by that. But basically what I mean is like if you have your survey and you have questions on there, what are your main reasons for this? An example, what are your main reasons for wanting to get a home standby generator install or wanting to get backup power, something like that? You want to put a justification above it, like in smaller text or something, just like a little like 1 or 2 liner. It says like knowing this helps us to better understand your needs so we can provide you with the best solutions, or that's just off the top of my head, but something like that. You want to give reasons why you're asking the questions that you're asking to make it feel even more important to them and like they should answer it, right? So next thing is speed to lead. So this is a huge one. This is, among all my clients all around the country who do, who I do ads for home standby generator installations. Among them, really the biggest predictor of their success from company to company is how diligent they are about lead nurturing and following up with the people as soon as possible. So number one is immediate contact. As soon as somebody submits their information, don't wait to contact them. Like if you're out in the field and you got like like even a spare couple minutes, or you're in the office and you're working on something and you see a lead come through, don't wait. Don't tell yourself, "Oh, I'll get back to him after lunch," or "I'm just gonna finish up this thing right now," and this document that I'm typing up, or I'll finish putting together this quote that I was gonna send out, and I'll call him up. Just if it's at all possible, call them up as soon as possible. Okay, because every single minute that you spend not following up with them and contacting them when you could have is a minute that they get less and less and less and less interested in what you're offering, right? So the moment that they click submit on that form and submit their information to you to get on your calendar for a free quote, phone consultation, whatever, is the moment that they're at peak excitement and wanting to talk to you. And then every single moment after that, it drops down, 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 down. So you want to contact them immediately. Ideally, contact them within the first hour of submission. I mean, honestly, ideally contact them within the first minute of submission if you can, but the first hour is great. If it's during the work week, 24 hours is too long for the best results. I mean, you can still get a hold of people after 24 hours, but it's just like, if possible, the first hour, but for sure the first day if it's during the work week, right? And I've heard even, some of my customers actually have, you know, good chances getting a hold of people. Not usually Sundays. Sundays is a little, but Saturdays is usually actually a pretty good day to contact people too. Automated text message. So as soon as they come through, the procedure that you want to follow is you want to give them a phone call as soon as possible. And then if they don't pick up the phone call, obviously leave them a voicemail. And then after you leave the voicemail, send a text message and say, "Hi, John, whoever they are. Hi, John, this is, your name. So this is me. So this is Mitch Horton with SwiftSocial. Thanks for your interest in a standby generator. Can we schedule a call to discuss your generator needs?" So a couple things about this. You want to make sure that this sentence that you send them is clear and concise and short. I think on iPhones it's supposed to be somewhere around 14 characters for the first part is ideal, because when you're on your phone and you're looking at your text message list, and it's like all the different people and stuff like that, you see like their name or their number, and then you see like the last message that you sent to each other underneath it, or you see the preview of it, which is like usually like one sentence or something like that. The reason I structure it this way is because you want the person receiving the text to know who you are, that you know who they are, which is like the "Hi John," like you actually know their name, and then why you're contacting them. So it says, "Hi John, this is Mitch with SwiftSocial. Thanks for your interest in a standby generator." So immediately, without even clicking into the text and putting in more effort to look, as soon as it pops up or they look through their text message list and it says, "Hi John, this is Mitch at SwiftSocial. Thanks for your interest in a standby generator." Immediately they know that you know who they are, they know why, you're contacting them, and they know where you're from. And then you always want to end it with a quick question too. So, "Can we schedule a call to discuss your generator needs?" Or, something along those lines. But you always want to end it with a yes or no question. Because sometimes people will just like say like open-ended stuff like, "Hi, John, this is your name with SwiftSocial. Thanks for your interest in a standby generator." And it's like, okay, and a lot of the times they'll just sit there and they'll wait. They'll be like, "Okay, yeah, I mean, like, are we going to book a call? Or are you going to send me another text and like ask a question or what?" So end it with a question. "Can we schedule a call to discuss your generator needs?" Right. And then the last thing is personal touch. So, this approach is personal, direct, and it shows that you value their time. And on that last point, you always want to make it short and concise too. If you send somebody like "this is the starter," that'd be good, but you don't want to send someone like a huge chunk of text, like a big paragraph. Like, have you ever got a text message from somebody and it's like a big paragraph, especially someone you don't know, and it's like they expect me to read that entire thing? I got stuff to do. I gotta send this quote out. I'm on the road. I'm driving. Like I can't. It's like no one wants to read a giant paragraph. So just make it clear and concise and short. Let them know who you are, that you know who they are, your company, and why you're reaching out. And end it with a question. So. Next thing is creating effective ad creatives. So it's kind of counterintuitive, but blend in, don't stand out. So like I said earlier, your ad creatives, which is like the pictures or videos that you use, should be pictures because I don't recommend videos. They're not very good for generator ads. They shouldn't stand out. Like I said earlier, we already talked about this, but they should look like a post someone's neighbor might put up of a new generator they just got installed. And this approach makes the ad feel more relatable and less like a sales pitch. But also, what it does is it doesn't trigger the ad blindness or the banner blindness that I talked about earlier. So people don't subconsciously block it out. And people who are interested in generators are probably going to stop and look at a picture of a nice generator install, anyways. So it's not like you're not going to get people just because it doesn't look like an ad who are interested in generators. If someone wants an install, they're going to look at a post of an install. You know, using collage creative. So this is kind of like a little tip, but people love clicking on smaller images to try to see the bigger picture. So this is kind of like a little trick. But basically, what you want to do sometimes is you can just it's all good if you just want to use like totally just like a one big image, right? Just like one picture of a generator install. That's perfect. But what you can also do if you're comfortable like kind of making just like messing around with like photo editing and stuff like that, or making your own kind of pictures, is you can kind of make stuff into a collage. So what I like to do, for example, is I'll take like the main big picture at the bottom, right, and that'll be like half of the image, and then the top half of the image will be two other images split in half down the middle like this. So you'll have two half images at the top and then one full one at the bottom. And then of those two at the top, it'll just be like smaller like aspects from the same. It'll be like either different pictures from the same job, or it'll just be like other kind of like exaggerated, like zoomed in parts of that original picture, if that kind of makes sense. And I'll show examples in the future in other videos of what I mean by that too. But basically, what that does is a lot of the times people will they'll see a collage like that and they'll want to try to like zoom in on one of like the little pictures up top or something, or like click on it to try to like make it bigger, because a lot of the times that's how it works, but not on Facebook and Instagram. And then what it'll do, right, is even though it's not going to get bigger, it'll register on Facebook that someone clicked on it. And the more clicks like that it gets, the more that the Facebook algorithm goes like, hey, people actually like this, people are clicking on it, and then it's going to give you favorable treatment, right? As far as the algorithm. So they're going to distribute your ads for less money, and they're going to show it to more people, and it's just going to be better overall. The next thing, this is super big, engaging in the comments on your ads. So I can't stress this enough. Every single ad that you could ever run on Facebook and Instagram, or just online in general, where there's a comment section, every single one, if you show it to enough people, is going to get hate comments. Like, it doesn't matter what you do, it doesn't matter how amazing you are. I mean, you could literally go on Facebook and Instagram and you could have a campaign and you found the cure for cancer and you're giving it away for free, and you're literally curing people of cancer for free, and you're going to get hate comments on it, I swear. I mean, there's just people on the internet with nothing better to do, and they just want to leave hate comments and just be nasty. But most of the times what people do is they just delete these comments, which is actually the wrong thing to do. Other times people will actually respond like rudely to these comments, which is like even worse. But what you want to do ideally is when somebody leaves, and within reason too. I mean, if someone leaves a comment that's just like totally like crazy or like, whatever, I mean, you could delete it. But if it's kind of just like, oh, like, Generac generators, piece of crap, that kind of thing, we'll go with Cole or go with Briggs and Stratton, or it's like, whatever, just like something dumb like that. You can use that comment as an opportunity to show how professional you and your company are, right? So instead of responding negatively to them or just deleting it, just say like, hey, John, sorry that you feel that way. Most of our customers, who have Generacs are actually, super happy with the product, and they love them, and we found them to be very reliable, and we've used them personally for years. But thank you for your input, and we hope you have a great day. Just something like that, for example. Just use, even though they're being negative, use it as an opportunity to show how professional you and your company are, right? Because other people who are like your potential leads, because first of all, those people are never going to buy anyways. Those people leaving negative comments, you never want to cater to them and try to like appease them, because they're never going to be appeased. They're never going to like you. They're never going to be a lead. They're never going to buy a generator from you. But the people who might potentially buy a generator from you and become a lead, a lot of the times they're going to scroll through that comment section on the ad before they go onto your landing page or click anything else. And if they see a bunch of examples of you being super professional and kind, even to people who, are being assholes to you in the comments, it's like, it just paints your company in such a good light, and you just look so professional and so trustworthy. And they're like, yeah, that's the type of person that I want to work with. They're level headed, they're kind, they're, like, it's just it's a good thing to do. So Problem with lead marketplaces. I don't really know why I put this slide in here, but if you've ever worked with lead marketplaces, you know you get generic, non-exclusive leads, you get low-quality leads, and it's pretty much a near impossible refund process if they even have a refund process in place. So it's always better if you have the know-how, like I teach you how to do in these videos, or like I do for my clients, to actually run your own advertising campaigns, preferably on Facebook and Instagram. And the last thing is if you want to try our generator marketing system for free for 2 weeks, you only pay if you love it. So if you want this document, comment in this video and I'll send it to you. And I do advertising for home standby generator installers all around the country. So if you're interested in having me set up a system kind of like the ones that I teach you how to build in these videos here on my YouTube channel, then I'll do that totally for free for you for 2 weeks. And if you don't absolutely love it, then you never pay me a penny for it. And most of my clients make between $30,000 to $100,000 plus in new revenue every single month with my system, which is usually between 3 to 5 plus new generator installs per month. So I hope you found this video helpful. Go ahead, and if you want the document, like I said, if you wanted all these notes and stuff that I went through in this video, just comment on the video and I'll go ahead and send it over to you. And there's a link on there to my website as well, go.swiftsocial.org, and go ahead and please subscribe and like the video and stuff like that too if you found it helpful, because I'm just going to continue to make videos just like this, and I'm literally just going to teach every single aspect of how to run a successful generator advertising campaign and make tons of money and get tons of leads and new installs and stuff like that on this YouTube channel. So thank you. Hope you guys have a great day, and bye.